Every successful business, particularly one that's scaling up or, just entering the vibrant Bangladeshi market, understands that payroll is so much more than a monthly accounting task.
Oh, absolutely. It's the critical infrastructure. It links everything together.
Exactly. Employee trust, financial precision, and this is the big one, your legal standing.
It's a strategic asset, really. For you, the listener, our mission today is to cut through some of that noise. We want to lay out a clear blueprint for navigating Bangladesh's unique regulatory landscape.
You mean the tax codes from the NBR and all the rules in the Labor Act?
Precisely. The National Board of Revenue and the Bangladesh Labor Act of 2006. Getting those right is everything.
Absolutely. So if compliance is the tightrope, then precision payroll is your safety net. Today, we're really getting into the essential features of payroll processing and administration in Bangladesh.
Right. We want to show you exactly what turns that compliance headache into a seamless, scalable operation. The kind of thing you'd find through specialized services, maybe on a resource like payroll.com.bd.
Okay, let's unpack this. Let's start right at the ground floor. The core calculations.
Yeah.
What are the absolute non-negotiable elements that need to be flawless every single month?
Well, the foundation, as always, is it's all about detail-oriented precision in the monthly salary calculation.
And that's not just one number, right?
Not at all. It involves breaking down the pay structure into its mandated components. Basic salary, house rent, medical allowance, conveyance allowance, all of these have to align directly with the standards in the Bangladesh Labor Act.
Okay, so that covers the fixed part of the salary, but we all know it's rarely that simple.
Yeah.
What about the variables? Overtime? Bonuses? How does a professional system handle those shifting numbers correctly?
That's a huge challenge for in-house teams. Variable pay management, take overtime, for instance. It has to be calculated not just by the hours worked, but at the legal rate.
Which is what, exactly?
It's typically double the ordinary rate of wages, as the Labor Act stipulates. And then you have performance bonuses, sales commissions. All of these have to be tracked and applied perfectly.
And as money is going in, there's also mandatory money coming out. Let's talk about deductions management.
Right, so beyond tax, the most common one is the Provident Fund, or PF. The system must accurately withhold the employee's contribution, but also track the employer's matching portion.
And an error there could cause major problems down the line.
Oh, huge problems. Under withholding, miscalculating the base for the PF, it can lead to serious compliance issues.
Speaking of seamless operations, payroll can't really exist in a silo, can it? It needs to know what's happening in HR.
It absolutely does. That's why leave management integration is so key. A modern payroll system has to talk directly to the HR system to track leave in real time.
So annual leave, sick leave, maternity leave, all of that.
All of it. The system needs that constant data flow to make sure the monthly pay accurately reflects time worked and statutory leave that's been taken.
Okay, here's a part that I know gets notoriously tricky. Employee separation. That full and final settlement can be a compliance nightmare if it's not handled perfectly.
This is a critical risk area. A robust system has to calculate those final dues with absolute precision and promptly.
What are the main sticking points there?
Two things, mainly under the Labor Act. First, gratuity, which is based on years of service and final salary. It's often disputed if miscalculated. Second is earned leave encashment.
And getting those wrong is bad for more than just the bottom line.
Definitely. Failing to calculate and pay these final amounts quickly can seriously damage employee relations and, even worse, lead to legal challenges. Promptness and accuracy are just non-negotiable here.
All right, let's pivot a little to what feels like the ultimate high-stakes arena, compliance. Mismanaged payroll doesn't just annoy people, it invites some pretty severe penalties from the regulators.
Yes, from the NBR and the Department of Inspection for Factories and Establishments, or DIF.
So how do specialized services manage that constant regulatory risk?
The primary challenge is just continuous vigilance over income tax management. TDS. It's not a static once-a-year calculation.
Who changes?
All the time. A professional service ensures the correct tax deduction at source is calculated monthly, but the system also has to adjust dynamically. It has to factor in employee investment declarations mid-year, for example.
It has to adapt to the annual budget changes from the NBR.
Instantly. That ability to adapt is what really separates a specialized provider from just a static piece of software. The NBR publishes new tax slabs and rules almost every year.
And if you don't apply them immediately,
You get under withholding, which means painful catch-up deductions for employees later on, and nobody wants that.
So calculation is step one. What's step two? proving you've actually paid the government.
Exactly. This is the operational side of compliance. Challan generation and submission. The system needs to generate the deposit slips, the challans, and ensure the timely deposit of the exact tax amount to the government.
A delay of even a day could mean penalties, I assume.
It can. Having a provider that manages this whole administrative burden is crucial for minimizing errors and fines.
Now, beyond income tax and PF, I know there's a unique contribution in Bangladesh that catches a lot of new or foreign companies by surprise. The Workers' Profit Participation Fund.
Indeed. Companies really need to excel at statutory fund management. We've talked about PF, but the WPPF is far more complex.
How so?
Applicable companies have to contribute 5% of their net profit, not their gross payroll, to this fund. The real difficulty is that the definition of net profit under the Labor Act often differs from standard financial reporting.
That distinction, net profit versus gross payroll, that sounds like the exact kind of nuance that could sink an unprepared business during an audit.
Precisely. And all this complexity requires meticulous administrative reporting. Statutory reporting isn't just about paying the funds. It includes filing periodic and annual returns, and critically, giving employees their annual tax deduction certificates.
The document they need for their own tax filing.
Right, often called Form 10B. It's essential proof of your compliance.
Okay, let's shift from the nuts and bolts of processing to the strategic side. Once payroll is run, that data has to be useful. What kind of reporting capabilities should a business look for to turn this administrative work into actual strategic insight?
Well, beyond the transaction, documentation is what ensures your legal safety, and it informs your strategy. Every employee needs a clear, digital, individual payslip. That's baseline. It details every single component, every deduction. It's vital for transparency.
Payslips are standard, of course, but where does the real strategic value kick in for, say, a CFO or an HR director?
That's where Management Information System reports, or MIS reports, come in. These are customized tools. They help you move from just counting money to actually guiding how you allocate resources.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. Let's say you run a variance analysis and it reveals that overtime costs in your Chittagong factory spiked 20% this quarter. That's a huge red flag. It signals an operational or maybe a manpower issue you need to fix immediately. That's real strategic insight from payroll data.
So you're turning payroll data into an operational efficiency tool. What about the necessary legal paperwork for annual compliance, for regulatory reviews?
Strong services provide essential audit support. This means they proactively generate and maintain the legally required statutory registers. Things like the Register of Wages, Form NIX, and the Register of Leave with Wages, Form IT.
And for a foreign company, having those ready and compliant must be critical.
It is. During due diligence or an external audit, having those registers instantly available and perfectly compliant is crucial for demonstrating you're adhering to local labor laws. It seems like having a reliable, specialized partner, maybe one you'd find through a resource like payroll.com.bd, really moves the liability for all this away from the in-house team.
Absolutely. Moving that headache to a specialist who guarantees legal maintenance and data security is one of the biggest benefits.
Accuracy is foundational for trust, we've established that. But what about accessibility and support? That's what really boosts morale and efficiency day to day. How should technology enhance the employee experience? Employee self-service is mandatory now. The Employee Self-Service Portal, the ESS portal, is the key. It lets employees securely access and download their pay stubs, update their bank details, change their address anytime from any device.
Which must cut down on a huge number of HR queries.
A significant amount. And it protects confidentiality.
But, automation isn't everything. When an employee has a complex question about their WPPF calculation or a specific allowance, they need a person.
Yeah.
They need expertise.
So you need human support too.
You do. A dedicated account manager or a specialist who can provide responsive help desk and query management. Someone with local expertise in Bangladeshi compliance that an offshore system just can't provide.
And finally, let's address the elephant in the room. Security. We're talking about highly sensitive financial and personal data here.
Secure data management is the bedrock. It's non-negotiable. Reputable providers use encrypted, secure systems, often leveraging concepts like a zero-trust security model. They have to adhere to best practices to protect that data. And this offloads the liability of protecting against data breaches from the company itself.
Exactly. Breaches are costly, both financially and in terms of your reputation.
So when we put this all together, what does this really mean for you, the business owner or investor in Bangladesh? We've seen that professional payroll is this complex matrix. It involves detailed calculations, nonstop adherence to NBR and Labor Act rules, strategic reporting, and great employee support.
Right. And if you connect that to the bigger picture, mastering payroll really means mastering risk. Choosing a specialized partner lets you significantly reduce your legal exposure, you avoid costly penalties, and you can redirect your time and your capital towards, well, towards growing your business.
It's about building a financially sound foundation to scale on.
That's it, exactly.
So I want to end with a thought for you to consider. Think about the true cost of DIY payroll. It's not just about outsourcing labor. It's about avoiding those average fines and compliance costs that nearly 40% of small businesses get hit with every year because of preventable errors. Mastering payroll isn't just about paying your staff. It's about safeguarding your financial integrity and giving your business the confidence to scale and scale aggressively in Bangladesh's dynamic economy.